Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. WrestlePalooza is just a week away, and WWE has been pulling out all the stops to make it an unforgettable event. Several blockbuster matches have been added to the card, featuring legends and champions. With Triple A's direction and WWE's debut on ESPN, WrestlePalooza has the potential to become one of the biggest premium live events of the year. However, there are certain things the company must avoid. The chief content officer has been making some controversial decisions of late. With the upcoming spectacle, set to kick off a new era on ESPN, WWE has no margin of error. A single mistake could deal a devastating blow to the Stamford-based promotion and its reputation as a whole. Here are 4 Triple H decisions that could hurt WWE at WrestlePalooza. Cody Rhodes is set to defend the undisputed WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre at WrestlePalooza. Making him lose at the upcoming spectacle would deal a tremendous blow to the company. It is because WWE has been establishing Rhodes as the current face and torchbearer of the promotion. A defeat at this PLE, where WWE is catering to ESPN's new fan base, could be a huge mistake. Besides, the American Nightmare made his much-awaited return last week on SmackDown. It is said to be his first title defense since winning the gold at SummerSlam last month. Therefore, losing at WrestlePalooza would deflate all his momentum. It will also put a huge question mark on Cody Rhodes' credibility as undisputed WWE champion. ESPN will broadcast WWE premium live events going forward, which means a lot of mainstream fans will get exposure to wrestling for the first time. Hence, WrestlePalooza will play a key role in shaping fans' perspectives toward WWE. Therefore, Triple H needs to deliver on all fronts, focusing on the quality and duration of the matches that are featured on the card. Keeping the matches short will spoil fans' excitement, especially the casual fans who would tune in to consume good wrestling content. This could affect their experience of watching WWE PLEs and could affect the company on a grand scale. The Stanford-based promotion would risk losing potential new viewers or fan base that might come from ESPN. Stephanie Vaquer is set to battle Io Sky for the vacant Women's World Championship at WrestlePalooza. The Dark Angel has been looking for a breakthrough ever since she made her Raw debut. Vaquer finally has a great opportunity to make a name for herself by clinching her first-ever world title on the main roster at the upcoming PLE. However, Triple H handing her a defeat could be one of the biggest mistakes that might affect the company in the long run. Stephanie Vaquer's career could see a downfall before she could even rise as a credible name on the main roster. Given her abysmal booking in recent times, it becomes indispensable for her to capture the Women's World title by defeating Io Sky. Brock Lesnar made his return to WWE after 2 years at last month's SummerSlam and is set to make his in-ring return against John Cena at WrestlePalooza. The Beast Incarnate is a household name for the ESPN fans, and they are familiar with the destruction he could cause against his opponents. However, Lesnar losing his match clean could deal a crushing blow to his pride and reputation. It could wash away his dominant aura, which has been his hallmark for years. This decision could affect WWE, as the company would have a hard time portraying Brock Lesnar as a dominant force in upcoming storylines. His 2-year hiatus, followed by a potential loss, could make fans assume that Lesnar is no longer the beast that he once used to be. Subhasish Deb is a writer at Sportskeeda, India's leading sports and esports platform. With 3 years of experience in sports journalism, he has been writing compelling stories and analyses covering trending news and its underlying aspects. His writing style is distinctive for its use of rhetorical devices, which allows him to elevate wrestling journalism beyond mere reporting. Deb has been an avid WWE and cricket fan since childhood and believes the blend of his love for sports and knowledge of writing led him to become a sports correspondent. Given his love and passion for this industry, he has worked for several top firms and media outlets both as a seasoned writer and as an editor. Apart from penning engaging articles, Deb has also done script writing for a few local short films and has directed and produced one of them. When the spotlight dims, he loves to escape into the world of web series and anime, indulging in the magic of storytelling. As WWE barrels toward its newest mega event, WrestlePalooza, fans are buzzing with excitement, nostalgia, and high expectations. Spearheaded by WWE's Chief Content Officer, Paul "Triple H" Levesque, the company has leaned hard into long-term storytelling, work-rate-heavy matches, and revitalizing neglected divisions. But while Triple H has largely won over the hardcore fan base, some of his recent creative decisions could come back to haunt him on the grand stage. WrestlePalooza is shaping up to be a spectacle, a hybrid of WrestleMania's grandeur and SummerSlam's unpredictability. However, just as much as the highs can elevate WWE's brand, the wrong calls could fracture months of momentum. Here are 4 Triple H decisions that could hurt WWE at WrestlePalooza. Triple H has always had a soft spot for his black and gold children, and understandably so. Stars like Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa were integral to his NXT legacy, and many have finally been given main roster respect. However, the rumored main event push for Ilja Dragunov and a heavy spotlight on Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes at WrestlePalooza might be too much, too soon. While these superstars are undeniably talented, the main event scene on a show like WrestlePalooza requires more than just skill. It requires broad fan investment. Dragunov versus Seth Rollins, for example, may be a clinic in violence and intensity, but casual fans may not yet see Dragunov as the guy. If the crowd reaction feels lukewarm or the build fails to catch fire, it could sap energy from the biggest matches of the night. The creative risk: alienating casual fans and forcing undercooked stars into spots meant for those with more established main roster momentum. A WrestlePalooza headliner should feel earned, not experimental. Rumors have swirled of a possible Authority reunion at WrestlePalooza, either in a managerial or ceremonial role. With Triple H at the creative helm, there's always the temptation to dip into his own legacy, especially when teasing the return of Stephanie McMahon, or even Shane, to stir the pot. The Authority storyline had its time, and while it provided countless memorable segments during the mid-2010s, fans have moved on. Injecting the McMahons back into power roles, especially as looming puppet masters over champions or factions, would feel regressive. WWE under Triple H has thrived by moving away from the evil boss trope. Bringing it back now would not only distract from the in-ring storytelling, but also shift attention away from the rising stars he's worked so hard to elevate. The Tribal Chief's part-time schedule has allowed for other stars, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, to thrive. But if Triple H decides to leave Roman Reigns off the WrestlePalooza card, it could be a colossal mistake. Reigns hasn't defended the undisputed WWE Universal Championship since SummerSlam, and fans are growing restless. While absence can make the heart grow fonder, too much absence makes the title feel irrelevant. If WrestlePalooza ends up without its most dominant champion, and the title he holds, it risks sending a message that the belt is now just a decorative prop, not a prize. Even worse, if Reigns does appear, but only in a non-wrestling segment or backstage tease, the backlash will be fierce. WrestlePalooza is being billed as a major event, and a marquee attraction missing its top champion is hard to justify. Triple H's decision to protect Roman's mystique needs to be balanced with actual in-ring action. Otherwise, the aura might fade, and the boos might rise, not the good kind. Few factions in recent memory have been as unexpectedly successful as the Judgment Day. Originally a faltering gothic gimmick, it has blossomed under Triple H's guidance into a dominant stable blending star power, character work, and in-ring excellence. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio have all flourished in their roles, especially with Priest carrying the World Heavyweight Championship. But if recent hints are to be believed, a dramatic implosion might be on the horizon. Teasers of mistrust between Priest and Balor, Ripley's controlling leadership style, and JD McDonough's manipulative tendencies suggest a major schism could erupt at WrestlePalooza. The faction still has plenty of gas in the tank, and a premature split could halt momentum for several of its members. Ripley is still the anchor of the women's division, and Priest is only just now stepping into his role as a top champion. Without the group dynamic, Dominic may struggle to stay relevant, and McDonough could disappear entirely. There's a temptation in wrestling to strike while the iron is hot, but sometimes the iron is still warming up. Triple H might be planting seeds for a betrayal that feels Shakespearean, but rushing the payoff could cost WWE long-term star power. Triple H has transformed WWE in his image, gritty, athletic, story-driven, and reverent of pro wrestling's past. But as with any great creative mind, the risk of self-indulgence is always present. WrestlePalooza is an opportunity to showcase the new era of WWE, not a stage to test pet projects or revisit tired tropes. That doesn't mean there's no room for innovation, just that every decision must serve the bigger picture. Fans will forgive a botched spot, a bad promo, even a boring match, but they won't forgive being made to feel like they don't matter. WWE is at its best when it makes fans feel seen and heard. So here's hoping Triple H remembers that as he plots the path to WrestlePalooza. Because if these 4 decisions come to pass, WWE could be headed not for a celebration, but a creative misfire.